Today we are diving into a hot topic. What does a lower fat carnivore diet look like? A lot of people think that eating carnivore just means eating sticks of butter and ribeyes all day long, but that's not always the best fit for everyone. I'm going to share who might benefit from a lower fat version of carnivore, give you some practical tips on how you can do it without sacrificing flavor or satiety. Then I'll share with you 2 lower fat carnivore meal plans, 2-week meal plans that you can download for free. I will share with you how you can do that at the end of this video. I'm Jenny. I've been on the carnivore diet for almost 3 years. And when my husband tried high-fat carnivore, he did not have success. His metabolic health was declining and he was not losing any weight after 18 months of eating this way. Over the course of the next year, we figured out that a higher protein, lower fat version of carnivore worked best for him. So let's start with the big question. Who should consider lowering the fat on carnivore? Well, first, if you're trying to lose body fat but your weight loss has stalled, lowering dietary fat can help your body tap into stored fat for energy. The next is if you're experiencing lipotoxicity, which is when you have met your personal fat threshold and your fat cells are overstuffed. I have 4 videos on this topic, so I'll link them all in the description below in case you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about when I talk about lipotoxicity. Next up, if you're somebody that feels sluggish, nauseous, or bloated after eating really high-fat carnivore, you might actually feel better with a leaner approach. Then there's people that struggle with certain conditions, like those struggling with fat digestion issues, that is a tongue twister, or gallbladder problems. These people often tolerate lower levels of fat better. And finally, if your goal is muscle gain while still losing fat, a moderate fat, high protein version of carnivore can be just the ticket. Okay, so how do you stay lower fat while still doing carnivore? Here are a few simple strategies. First, you can switch 1 meal per day with a leaner cut of meat. Think sirloin, top round, filet mignon, chicken breast, turkey, pork tenderloin, or whitefish. If you want some very high quality leaner cuts of meat, ButcherBox has an amazing deal going on right now. Right now, they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary with an amazing deal that I've actually never seen before. From September 16th to the 25th, new members will get free bacon and free ground beef for life in every single box, plus $100 off of your first 6 boxes. That is $16.66 off of each box. For leaner carnivore meals, ButcherBox carries lean cuts like top sirloin, eye of round, and tenderloin, all 100% grass-fed and grass-finished, so you can enjoy high-quality meat without the extra fat. They also have crate-free uncured bacon and their classic ground beef. This offer is only available for a short time, so if you're thinking about doing a lower fat version of carnivore, be sure to stock up with these leaner cuts of meat through ButcherBox. I'll put the link in the description below. The next tip for lowering the fat in your carnivore diet is just to stop adding added fat, like butter or tallow or heavy cream to everything. I think it's fine to still cook with animal fats, but you don't want to be drowning your meat in it or adding it to your morning coffee. If you really want to dial down the fat, you can cook in a ceramic coated pan that doesn't need a lot of fat, or you could cook everything in an air fryer. The next tip is to keep your protein high. You don't want to just eat less fat and less food overall. Instead, I want you to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So if you want to weigh 130 pounds, I think you should eat a minimum of 130 grams of protein. But that's just a minimum. You can always go higher than that. Next, use seafood as a tool. Shrimp, cod, tuna, scallops, they're naturally lean and they add variety. Next, use egg whites plus a couple of whole eggs. Instead of eating 4 whole eggs, try 2 whole eggs and 4 egg whites. You'll still get that egg flavor with less fat. The next tip, stay satisfied. Volume is your friend here. Load up your plate with the lean protein so you don't feel deprived. Now let's put everything together with a 2-week meal plan. I've created 2 versions for you. The first version is going to be a little bit less extreme than the second version. It's a moderate approach where you're going to replace 1 meal per day with a leaner cut of meat, while keeping the rest of your meals more of a traditional carnivore, though there won't be a lot of added fat. Version 2 of this meal plan is a bit more extreme, where every meal is lean. I only recommend trying this meal plan out as a last resort or if you are experiencing lipotoxicity. Both plans are designed to be simple and practical, using foods you can easily find in any grocery store. Each day includes 2 to 3 meals and everything is 100% carnivore approved. Now, I haven't included portion sizes in this because each person is going to need a different amount of food. But if you'd like a starting point, women do really well starting at 1,700 to 1,800 calories per day, and men do really well starting between 2,000 and 2,200 calories per day. An easier way to approach this than calories would just be to focus on your macros. A really good place to start is 60% fat to 40% protein, or maybe 65% fat to 35% protein. A standard carnivore diet, high-fat carnivore diet, is like 70-30 or 80-20. So just going down a little bit in your fat macros can be really effective. You can set this up in any food tracking app by entering those ratios into the fat and protein and then setting the carbs to 0. That said, it doesn't need to be an exact science. If tracking feels overwhelming, don't stress about it in the beginning. I only recommend tracking your macros if you've been stuck for a while and need to spot some patterns that might help you make some progress. So let's go over the less restrictive meal plan first. I'm not gonna go through every single meal on this document because you're just gonna be downloading it anyways. I've also included a grocery list for each version of the meal plan so you don't have to write that out either. This is literally just download it, print it, and you're good to go. All the work is done for you. I just really want this to be as simple as possible so that you can get the scale moving again and start feeling better. So you're welcome. For this meal plan, there's gonna be 3 meals per day. You do not have to eat every meal. Just pick 2 of them if you're doing 2MAD. If you're doing OMAD, just pick 1 of them, or combine the meats to have a few different things on your plate. That's a really effective strategy as well. So let's go through a few of these. For week 1, on day 1, your breakfast is scrambled eggs with 80-20 ground beef. Your lunch would be grilled chicken breast or some other kind of lean meat. And your dinner would be a ribeye steak. So you can see there, you still have some really fatty cuts of meat bookending that leaner meal at lunchtime. Let's go to another day. This is day 4. For breakfast, it is 3 eggs plus bacon. For lunch, you're having some shrimp with some sea salt. And for dinner, you're having lamb chops. So this goes through 14 days of meals, 3 meals per day, and then it gives you the grocery list as well. The key here for this less restrictive, lower fat carnivore is that all of the meals, you can cook the meat in fat, but you're not gonna be adding extra fat on top of the meat. So if you have a ribeye, don't put butter on top of it. You could cook the ribeye in a cast iron pan in butter, or you could just use the fat that's already on the meat itself to cook it because some of that renders out. So you can kind of make your choices there, but cooking in a little bit of fat isn't going to be a problem here. So the leaner meal each day rotates between different cuts of meat. So sometimes it'll be poultry, seafood, wild game, or lean beef so you don't feel restricted. The rest of the meals keep your satiety and flavor high with the fattier cuts. And if you want to keep it simple, you could buy extra ribeye and chicken breasts and kind of keep those as like your anchor meats and then just switch them out daily. Just make this meal plan work for you. Now let's move into the more restrictive, lower fat meal plan. And again, I would recommend this one only if you are suffering from lipotoxicity or if you've already tried the other meal plan for at least a month, month and a half, and you're not seeing any results. So for this lower fat version of the meal plan, you're not going to be adding any fats, and you're going to really limit the amount of fat that you're cooking with as well. For this one, you're going super lean. Let's just go through a few of the days so you can see just how lean I'm talking here. For day 1, breakfast is egg whites with grilled chicken breast. For lunch, lean ground beef patties like 90-10, and for dinner, a sirloin steak. Now for this, you could also switch out, like if you didn't want to have all 3 of your meals be super lean, you could do 2 meals that are lean and 1 that has more fat. I don't want you to feel like you have to follow this meal plan exactly. I want this to kind of be a template for you. So if you decide after doing this for a few weeks, you're like, that's just not enough fat and I'm not feeling great, do 2 lean meals instead of 3 and you'll be fine. Just adjust this how you need, okay? Another example meal day, day 6 would be poached eggs with grilled chicken breast. For lunch, it would be a cod fillet, and for dinner, a venison steak. So for this, if you're using eggs, you're gonna be using egg whites typically just to keep it really lean. And you can season everything with salt and just cook it in its own fat. If it's really dry in the pan and you're having a hard time, add a little bit of butter, add a little bit of tallow. Not a big deal. Especially when every single meal is super lean, you might want to add in a little fat. So again, for the grocery shopping list, this is going to be 14 days worth of meals, 3 meals per day, enough for 1 person, and the grocery list reflects everything you need for that really lean, lower fat version meal plan. Now, if you would like a copy of these 2 versions of a lower fat meal plan along with their accompanying grocery lists, here's how you get it. Head over to my Instagram page at Mama Midich and follow me over there. I create content about the carnivore diet and lipotoxicity, lower fat carnivore, higher fat carnivore, all the versions, you know, lots of good stuff over there. Follow me on Instagram and then send me a message that says low fat. It's all you have to say, low fat. And I will send these meal plans and grocery lists over to you completely for free. I'm going to put a link to my lipotoxicity breakdown right here so you can take a look if you think you may be lipotoxic. This is basically where I distill 2 interviews with Dr. Nadir Ali, Craig Emmerich, and then tell my husband's story as well and give you all of the biomarkers and symptoms you need to look for if you think you may have lipotoxicity. As always, thank you to the channel members, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I am very receptive to my comment section. I am here to help you. That's what I'm here for. And I should mention, I do offer coaching calls. So if you would like some help dialing in this meal plan or kind of adjusting what amount of fat that you're eating, I'm going to put that link to the coaching calls in the description as well, because we can do that together. I'm not a medical professional, so I can't give you personal medical advice, but I can help you with lifestyle stuff and help you to get that scale moving again. I know it's incredibly frustrating. I've had many weight loss stalls on carnivore and it was driving me crazy, but now that I've been doing a little bit lower fat, about 65-35, I've been seeing a lot of results. So I would love to help you. Just go to that link and schedule a call and we can figure out what we can do to tweak your carnivore diet. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.